Perfect.
Welcome into Tips for Gamers, and in today's video we're going to show you how to get unlimited draft picks. You guys are going to have so many draft picks, you're going to eventually give them away for a discount or just give them away to a team you want to see do good, because you'll have that many that you either can't draft all those players, you can't afford to have all those players, or you just simply have too many draft picks and you just don't want them. If you guys like what we do, leave us a like and a comment down below. We can't thank you guys enough. Let's see if we can get this video to like 2 billion likes. Okay, so one thing to take note of is upgrading your player personnel is big for trading for draft picks. So on the trade tree, you can see going down here to the draft day every day, a 2% trade discount for CPU draft picks, and then it goes to 4% trade discount for CPU draft picks. That is something that you should be looking to add in the future, at least at some moment in time. And the other thing too is you can make your player personnel discounts cheaper by upgrading your head coach, and we have a video on that as well, which will pop up in the top right corner of your screen. So the first thing is first, guys, you want to prep for the off season, and you want to get more draft picks. That way you can draft still and have a good draft. You can end up trading away draft picks for more draft picks. But the thing that you got to remember is when you are trading for draft picks in the beginning of the year, right? You have to remember that they're all projected and they're going to make you pay the value of the projection. Okay, so if I go to, let's say, you know, the Dolphins, who has San Francisco's pick. This is the 7th pick. Now this pick could be the 30th pick. They go to the Super Bowl and be 32nd pick, but the Dolphins right now will make you pay the 7th pick value. So be careful on doing this and try to go for more quantity instead of quality. And that's something that really, you know, makes a lot of sense. Like the Eagles are my favorite to trade with for draft picks because they own 3 first rounders, which is phenomenal. So if you get these 3 first rounders, I don't really care where they go. I'm projecting that this one's probably going to be top 10. This one's probably going to be top 10 as well. Hopefully top 15. Same with this one. And then, you know, who knows on Indiana? You just don't really know. So what we recommend is, like, make it very simple on yourself. Trade for some draft picks, get some first rounders, and then basically walk away. Like, you know, you're going to see us do it here. We're going to still have a decent draft, and we're going to have a lot of draft picks for next year. And these draft picks are just going to continue to roll on each other. Our draft picks are basically, in essence, going to be like a stock that constantly pays us dividends, right? And it's going to just constantly be feeding us. 1 draft pick will make us 2 draft picks. 2 draft picks will make us 4 draft picks, and yada, yada, yada. But the thing that you need to make it easy on yourself is the style of trading that you're going to put forth. There's the SAR, which we're going to show you the SAR in this. The SAR can get you every draft pick in all of the NFL. Well, it can't, because you can only have like 25 draft picks or 24 or 26, something like that, until it cuts you off. We've tried to get every draft pick, and it always cuts us off. There's the SAR. There's the 1-year pro trading method. Now, in the top right corner of your screen, the SAR is going to pop up. You're going to be able to click on that, and you're going to be able to view the SAR. We're going to show you that in this too. Our 1-year pro trading method. That is another method. It's going to pop up in the top right of your screen. That's another method that you're going to be able to use. That method that's great for quarterbacks because you're going to be able to get QBs you can trade for easily at 1-year pros, depending on their overall, and then you can trade them away for gold. And a lot of these methods that you can use are just phenomenal. We're going to show you trading away during the draft time when people are just so hungry to gamble that it's insane. But anyways, use these methods, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into the SAR and just show you how easy the SAR is. Now, the SAR is not the only thing, the only method that you can use. Definitely not. Okay, so first thing is first. This is something that I just want to give you guys some tips on, because Madden is super janky all the time. It's just janky. It's the way it is. EA loves being janky. So if you go into the trade center, I wouldn't recommend doing that if you plan on making multiple trades, because when you go into the trade center, you're going to do it the first time, you're going to make the trade, and then all of a sudden it's going to say every time you click on a player, they're not going to pop up. You're going to have to back all the way out, and it's just stupid. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go to rosters, and this is how you become a fast trader. You start getting really, really quick. And then right here, I'll go to trade. It doesn't matter who you're trading, right? Because you're just, you know, you're just getting players. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the first pick, right? And the big thing that you want to take into consideration is QBs. Now, you could use Jared Goff, you could use Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick's on the free agency, and I don't really owe him any money, so it's super easy to do. But if you didn't get Colin Kaepernick, what's the next best thing? Well, you could do Jared Goff, and you know, I could show you with Jared Goff as well, but I'm going to grab Colin Kaepernick here and just try to get their biggest pick first, right? So I know here typically I'm probably going to have to go for a 6th and a 7th, maybe a 6th of this year will work, pull it off, boom. Okay, so I got the first round 5th pick overall. There's another thing that I could do at this moment in time. I could have traded for a player and used Colin Kaepernick to trade for a player, right? And then whatever that team needs were, let's say that I traded for Kelsey. So then they would all of a sudden need a center. Then I trade them a center who's not very good. And then I keep using that, right? I just keep taking away the good guys, causing their team needs, and that's team needs trading. And that's something that can definitely happen, and you can utilize like crazy. However, the SAR is the most beautiful aspect to use in this, because they changed the SAR and made the SAR, they tried to make it non-existent in a sense for getting rookies. Well, what that did is it actually made it more deadly with getting draft picks and even players, because now I can skip a lot of steps that I had to do previously in previous years of Madden to make the SAR super effective. So right here, right, Colin Kaepernick goes onto the team here. And speaking of which, Cam Newton is on the free agency, and even though Cam Newton has played, he's somehow way less of an overall than Colin Kaepernick, and that doesn't really make sense to me. I think they're kind of screwing Cam Newton on. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, so what I'm going to do here is you see I traded Colin Kaepernick, and he's above Jalen Hurts. So theoretically, Colin Kaepernick would be starting at this moment in time because he's an 8 overall. However, they did a buffer. Okay, they did a buffer period. So that's actually not going to be the case. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to trade them, let's say, a 62 overall, and then I'm going to trade them 2 extreme low overall players, 56. Now, this is my guide to get the trade to go through, and it may not. Oh, it works. That's crazy. He's a green interest. Bananas. I wonder if I can get a 2nd round pick for him. I doubt it. That's crazy. So here I want to trade for as much current years as possible. I don't want to trade for next year, right? Next year picks, that's great and dandy, but I need current year picks. Current year picks are worth the bee's knees. Next year picks are worth the bee's knees next year, and that's not what I want. So I traded them those quarterbacks, and what you see is they dropped them because I told you about that buffer period. Okay, so what they did was they took on Colin Kaepernick, and then once I traded them the 3 players, they released Colin Kaepernick. Okay, even though he's a higher overall, there's a 1-week delay on when they put him in the depth chart. So even though you trade someone, you could trade anybody to anyone's team, and the overall doesn't matter who it is. You literally could take the best guy you have, trade him to someone's team depending on the position, and they're not going to start him until the very next week. So then you could just trade them 3 guys depending on the position, and then they'll basically just cut them. And that's something that you could do. So once again, NFL rosters, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab up the 3 guys, or the 3 draft picks that I want to pick up. So I'd grab Colin Kaepernick. I'd do the same thing. Let's go back to the Eaglets and then pick up. Come on, controller, please listen to me. Okay, then let's grab these. I would love to get the 2nd too. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. That's actually crazy. So right here, since I just want to eliminate it quicker, what I would do is give him a 3rd. This probably won't work. Maybe give him a 2nd of next year. I don't really care. I could do it in order, but just for the sake of the video, I want it to be faster. And I'm hoping that this goes through. It's actually really, really close. Dang. Okay, so this sucks to do it, but fine. I'll give him a 3rd round pick of this year. Dang, they really are just salty. Very, very salty. Let's go with this. What about this? Okay, that worked. Anyways, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to continue the same process, and I want to get that other draft pick and that 2nd round pick. All right, so once again, same thing. I got Griffin, who is the guy who is going to get he's the point man is what I would call in this trade. He's going to get the trade accepted. These guys down here, they're just fill-in players, okay? And that's all there is to it. This probably won't even go through either for the 3rd round pick. Oh, well, I tried. I would like a 4th. Doubt that's going to go through. I'll probably have to get a 5th. And we'll end up walking out with a 5th and a 7th more than likely. Ah, damn, they're really penny pinching us on that. That 7th round pick apparently is worth something to them. They're very, very happy about that 7th round pick, and they're very greedy with it, which I'm going to be honest is something new that I wasn't expecting. All right, just to clean it up, we're basically just stealing all their draft picks. Boom, bam, slam. Now I could go back and I could continue this process, obviously, with like a million different teams and do that. But I'm pretty satisfied with what we have because we have 5 first-round picks, as you can see here. We have 2 seconds, we have 2 thirds, we have a 4th, 2 fifths, 2 sixths, and 1 7th, and then, you know, a couple first next year, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, and then, you know, it's very easy to do, and the SAR really doesn't take up too much of your own players. You just have to use some free agency players. But if you can't use the SAR in this, it's no big deal. I mean, honestly, it's very, very easy to do. You can still, you may not get as many draft picks, but you can still do it. You can use free agency players. You can outsmart the system, trade for guys, and then trade them away. You know, we have plenty of trading tips on our website and YouTube channel that you're going to easily be able to get it done. So we're in the draft, and the draft is by far one of the best places to make your draft picks, make more draft picks for you. And this goes for whether you're in a user league, this goes for whether you're in with just the CPU, it doesn't matter. People are addicted to the draft. It's gambling at its finest, and people will tell you no, there's arts to it. There is and there isn't. Okay, there is an art that you'll never be able to conquer, which is deciding if that player or determining if that player is injury prone. It's impossible. You could draft the best guy through and through. He looks perfect. He was #1 in the combine. He's got a superstar X factor, hidden dev. You know, he's a gold, platinum, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter, because then he could have a 79 injury and all that means nothing. Okay, it means nothing. And on top of it as well, you can only play 1 player out of 11 guys, right? So that means 10 other guys are going to be playing without any user assistance. So there's traits involved. Well, you have no idea what their traits are. Okay, do you know how you know when what their traits are? Is when you draft the player. Now, I love the draft. I'm all about the draft, but you still have to be reasonable with what it is. So don't be so gung-ho to be like, I gotta just draft all the time. No, let people draft. I still think you should draft. You can still draft a lot of guys, have a successful draft, and still trade away a lot of picks at the same time, and that's what we're going to show you how to do. But you want to encourage that, because people really are addicted to this, and they will trade you almost the entire house to try and move up, and you really should expect it, and you should demand it when you have these kind of picks. Now, with the first overall pick, though, it is a tough pick. Now, this pick you can trade away for gold. You could trade for probably like 3 good players. Okay, and then you could trade those players for draft picks, or you could go and try to trade that draft pick for multiple draft picks, or you could say, I see a really good guy in the draft and I'm going to draft him, which we're going to do that just because it makes the video a little bit easier. And, you know, a quarterback like this, not super easy to get, might as well get him. You know, we almost got the trade to go through with the Jets getting this 2nd round pick and getting Zach Wilson as well, but we had to give up a little bit more on top of that than what we wanted to give up. So, you know, there's many different options of what you can do, but the first pick is, you know, it's a pick that you could do a lot of different things with. So with the 2nd overall pick, or the 3rd overall pick, sorry, you know, there's so much you can do with it. And, you know, Seattle's offering a decent deal. They're offering us 2 seconds of this year. And for your first few years of doing this, I would go for as much of current year picks as possible, because even when I come up to that 2nd round pick, they're going to say, okay, we'll give you a 2nd and a 3rd, or a 2nd, 3rd, and a 4th for those 2 seconds. Or I could draft someone that I really think is going to be good in the draft. So another great pick here. The Atlanta Falcons are offering us the first 16, 2nd 46, and then a 4th round pick for these first round 6th pick overall, which easily I would do this. And I still plan on maybe with this next trade, I wonder who they're going to even pick up. He's a beast. So once again here, I'd make a trade with the Atlanta Falcons. Give it to them. They already had a really good one there. And there's not bad guys left on the board. Definitely not. But the big thing is a lot of people get like tunnel vision for, oh my God, like you look at that cornerback and you're like, that guy's amazing. Okay. You know what's going to change it more than anything? Is it that cornerback going to win you a Super Bowl? No, he's not. Is he going to help you win a Super Bowl? Sure. But you need an entire team to win a Super Bowl. So you have to think, okay, I'm not going to be super aggressive, but I'm going to be aggressive enough to where I can still rebuild my team and still prepare for the future at the same time. And this is the dance you need to have. All right, so this is our draft. We ended up having a pretty big draft here. We ended up getting a really good QB, and the whole purpose is to show you that you can trade for the future and draft for now as well if you do this correctly. We got Smith, who's a very good middle linebacker rookie. We got Spillman, who's a hidden dev beast strong safety. We ended up getting a hidden dev left guard, hidden dev D tackle, another hidden dev strong safety who can play cornerback for us. Good decent left end, another good end, a good guard that's a hidden dev. We ended up getting 2 more hidden dev wide receivers. So I mean, all in all, we ended up drafting quite a bit here, and it was just trading. So how many draft picks do we have for next year? Okay, so we have 4 first-round picks for this next year. We have 3 seconds, we have 2 thirds, crap load of 4s, a lot of 5th, 6th, blah blah blah, and it just keeps going down. And the thing is we ended up having a pretty significant draft, and if you keep doing this, what's going to happen is you're going to have so many more options. You are literally going to be the keeper of the draft. You're going to be the keeper of who gets drafted where, of what pick lands where, and you're going to say, hey, okay, I don't need this guy. I don't need to draft someone at 6. I'll trade out of the 6th pick. I own the 8th pick, and then you're going to keep doing that, and eventually in time, you're going to be giving away draft picks for free just to move up in the draft, or just because you don't want to have that rookie reserve sitting there for when you go into the free agency signing period. But the thing is this, you're going to have options that no one else has. And if you do this within 2 years, even in a user league, no one's going to be able to compete. It's as simple as that. You will own the draft for the next 10 years. Easy as that.
Perfect.